Hey, this is a response to Visa's latest video on what's it called, late night rambling from I guess last night. I really enjoyed this. Thanks, Visa. Particularly like given how tired you are. Thank you for the shout out as well. I really enjoy seeing the integration of that Superman clip into your thinking there, and I want to just expand on it a little bit. So like what you're saying there around like he's just stopping doing the things that made him Clark Kent. It really is spot on, and there's so much in that that I think people don't recognize as an option being available to them. So we grow up, and your example of being tall in an environment that doesn't really enable that, or isn't, you feel like you stand out a lot. I think it's a very common experience. So particularly tall guys, I often see kind of just like coming down here a little bit, because to be up there is in your face, right? It seems almost arrogant, so it seems somehow like, who do you think you are to be so tall? I'm 186. I'm not as tall as you are, and the people around me are taller as well, so I don't stand out as much. But there's still a sense of like, well, when you're talking to someone who isn't at the same height as you, there's a very subtle contraction that you just want to make yourself a bit less imposing, or bring yourself down in some way to kind of help them fit in, or whatever it might be. And over time, we forget that we've done that, and then we catch ourselves down here in this place, and then we wonder how to get that thing back. Right? It's like, oh well, I need to pull, I need to force myself. Like, this hurts already, and there's something magical that happens when you realize all you have to do is let go of the holding down. Like, you don't need to. You can remember that you're doing this, and then just stop doing it. But the just stop doing it is actually surprisingly difficult if all you know is different combinations of this, right? You don't know that there's another route open to you, which is none of those things, which is to just stop all of that and allow who you are to assert itself naturally. And this is why the entire discourse around just be yourself is both very true and also extremely unhelpful, because it doesn't say how. And I think that's largely because any how is likely to miss the point. Uh, it's you just be yourself by just being yourself, which means by just dropping all the things that aren't yourself. So this is something you learned. This is some kind of a mechanism that served you for some reason at some point, even if suboptimally. And then the process of becoming this guy again is not just the process of um, standing at your full height. It's the process of learning how to let go of the things that encumbered you, and really stepping into yourself. And it's not something you can do, it's something you rediscover, um, perhaps discover for the first time, or from a very different perspective. Um, and it can be scary for a lot of people, I think, to kind of like, if you get someone standing at their full height effortlessly, which is how you're meant to be at your full height, it can be very disconcerting at first, disorienting. Like, I can't be seen like this. I shouldn't take up this much space. I'm not worthy of being this easy or this light, right? We almost make it difficult for ourselves because we don't feel like we're deserving, um, of that easy way, that the kind of the fully ourselves way, or yeah, there's a trap in there somewhere. But the harder you try to be yourself, the more you're just asserting all the things that made you not yourself in the first place. And I'm so glad that Superman, that Christopher Reeve clip exists, because it's such a wonderful illustration of what's going on there. So, in that clip, as you acted out really well, he was like down here being all Clark Kenty, and then he like expands out, into Superman. And the thing he's doing there is, it is acting, but he's actually doing it himself as well, right? So the way that I see it myself is that, he kind of, he narrows, he's here, and then he just switches back on again. And there's a moment where he hasn't moved an inch, he hasn't moved a single muscle, but you can see that he's now like where he was Clark Kent. Then he changes something in his being. He hasn't moved yet, but now you know that he's Superman instead of Clark Kent, and it's just that his body hasn't caught up yet. He doesn't. He's now Superman play acting as Clark Kent rather than before he was Clark Kent being Clark Kent. And then his body moves and he becomes Superman, and it's very cool. But I love that moment before he even moves, where like something almost imperceptible happens, and then like he's Superman, and it's that just letting go, that just transitioning, that is so hard to communicate, because if you show someone that clip and they didn't recognize what was going on, they would think, oh wow, he's just standing up straight and looking up and taking off his glasses. Right? Glasses make Clark Kent, right? If you get rid of the glasses, no, Superman could wear glasses too. It's the ownership almost of wearing them, kind of accepting like yourself for completely as you are. So I'm now rambling, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of, I just enjoyed that part of your clip in the context of the wider conversation. I think it was awesome. So yeah, thanks.